According to the ASPCA, fleas can live for as few as 13 days or as long as 12 months, and during that time they can produce millions of offspring. Fleas are small, and just one flea can quickly become a nuisance to you and your pets. Having been an owner of pets, I have been faced with dealing with fleas, and having also worked in the veterinary medicine for over 8 years, I have been frequently approached by owners saying, "Wow, the fleas are really bad this year. Do you know how I can get rid of them?" So today I would like to talk to you about fleas, what harm they can cause, and how to prevent against the fleas. First, I'd like to speak with you about how fleas come to exist in the first place. There are 4 stages in the flea life cycle. First is the egg stage. Only after a female flea has fed is she then capable of reproducing. When the female flea is ready to reproduce, she can lay eggs in batches of about 20. In just 3 weeks, a single flea can produce up to 1,000 eggs. The egg can take anywhere from 2 days to 3 weeks to hatch, depending on the environment, with conditions needing to be just right for them to hatch. Next is the larva stage. When the eggs hatch, the emerging larvae are blind and avoid the light. The larva develops over several weeks and by eating organic debris in the environment and pre-digested blood known as flea dirt or flea poop that adult fleas have left behind. Then the flea moves into the pupa stage. At this stage, the flea develops into the pupa, which accounts for about 10% of the flea population in the home. During the pupa stage, a cocoon protects the pupa for a couple of weeks, days, or sometimes even months or years, until the adult flea finally emerges when conditions are just right. And last is the adult stage. Once the adult flea emerges from the cocoon, they need to feed. Adult fleas will only live for about a week if they are unable to find a proper food source. But even if they find a food source, each adult flea can only live for about 2 to 3 months. According to vetstreet.com, adult fleas are the easiest stage of the parasite to find, but they account for less than 5% of the infestation. Now that I've talked to you about my first point, I'd like to move on to my second, which is what harm fleas can cause to you and your pets. Fleas can cause an array of issues, so I will just be covering the top 5 potential issues resulting from a flea infestation. Flea allergy dermatitis occurs when an animal develops an allergic reaction to chemicals in the flea saliva, causing erythema, redness, papules, bumps, pustules, pus-filled bumps, crust, scabs, and hair loss. Hotspots are when a pet develops an allergic reaction. Their skin becomes very pruritic, itchy, which will cause some pets to irritate a section of their skin, resulting in an infection. Tapeworms are transmitted to your pets through fleas that are infected with tapeworms and have been ingested by your pet when they are chewing or biting themselves looking for relief. Anemia. Since fleas have the ability to reproduce so quickly and they can consume up to 20 times their own body weight, an infestation of fleas can cause anemia. Bartonella infection. Along with many other diseases that fleas can carry, Bartonella is one of them, which is a bacterial infection that causes multiple diseases such as cat scratch fever. Now that I've talked to you about my second point, I'd like to move on to my third, which is how to prevent against fleas. There are many options out there when it comes to flea prevention. Many owners choose topical options, which are applied to their pets once a month, and they can be found in either drops, sprays, powders, or collars. But because topical products can usually be transferred by touch, some owners will use another form of prevention, such as oral flea prevention products, which are simple once-a-month pills that are given to your pet, and most of the time the prevention will also include an additional prevention against other parasites, such as hookworms, tapeworms, roundworms, or heartworms. Long treatment is often used when someone is experiencing an infestation problem and they need to treat the entire environment. These products are available to be placed on your lawn in either liquid or powder form. Home cleanliness also contributes to flea issues. Since pets tend to have no boundaries in their homes, flea eggs and fleas can be found everywhere, and vacuuming is the best prevention for the home. Although there are products you can use in your home that come in powder, liquid, or aerosol form, holistic is an alternative approach when it comes to treating fleas. For those who are fearful of pharmaceutical or petrochemicals, they tend to look for a more natural option, which can range from giving your dog cinnamon or to using diatomaceous or even a magnetic field. In closing, we have discussed 3 main points today about fleas. First, we have covered what fleas are and how they develop. Second, the harm that fleas can cause to you and your pets. And third, ways to prevent fleas before they can become an issue. So remember to take care of your pets, research the method of your prevention thoroughly, since there are so many prevention options out there, and some could cause harm. So, in closing, I would like to close with a quote from one of my favorite authors and comedian, Amy Sedaris. Sometimes losing a pet is more painful than losing a human, because in the case of the pet, you are not pretending to love it. And proof that my audience is here.